everybody. My name is Jay Tylerman. Thank you for tuning in. Today I'm going to talk to you about minimalism and what that means to me, how I made the transition, and now after making that transition, what that looks like and how it's spread into other parts of my life. I'm very excited to see you. I became a minimalist, I want to say about 6 months ago, and I was very happy to do it, but I didn't realize all the lasting effects it would have afterward. Let me tell you about how I became a minimalist in the first place. Growing up, I had an older brother he is 3 years older than me, and basically, for the most part, we are very similar in size, similar body type, similar weight. He's a little bit taller than me, but still, I could fit most of his clothes. As he would get older and I would get older, I would pretty much just follow him and get handed down his clothes. It was nice because was a way to save money, but it also led to a lot of hoarding. Between thrift shopping and hand-me-downs, at the end of the day, it was like the both of us had a double wardrobe. That is how we ended up becoming hoarders, essentially. And then I go off to college. Every single year of college, I would bring more and more stuff back from college that I accumulated. Not to mention, my freshman year coming in, I already got a whole boatload of stuff to start the school year with. So it just quadrupled by the time I had finished my senior year. Fast forward to over a year ago, I graduated, ended up getting a job, and I brought all that college stuff down to my apartment. I had to move states for my job. So then from there, I get a whole apartment full of stuff. So welcome items, paintings and dishes and pots and pans, a lot of shirts and just stuff. This was my first time really working a full-time 9 to 5. I've had internships and things like that prior to working the full-time career style 9 to 5. But this was the first time I was doing something like that, completely full-time, non-internship, living alone. Because, in college you have roommates and things like that. And I really had a hard time. I wasn't a scheduler. I didn't grow up a scheduler. I just kind of always did things on the fly. I'm very spontaneous. And you'll know from watching this channel that some of my content probably bounces around a little bit. But hopefully it's all good stuff to you guys. Anyhow, when I tell you I had mountains and mountains of clothing coming down at me, it was like an avalanche some days. I wasn't organized, so for one, working 9 to 5 plus, and you deal with traffic and things like that, get home at almost 7, and you just don't have that many hours left in the day, plus you're drained and tired. All you want to do is chill, watch Netflix, play video games, and go to sleep. My house just really got out of control, and before you knew it, I was under mounds and mounds of mess. I was ashamed to open the door when neighbors would walk past. If I ordered delivery, I didn't want to open up the door. I would kind of just do I'll just open the door and kind of just, you see, I'll be like this, and I just kind of just get my food and then it was awful. Anyhow, that was kind of the beginning of the end of that lifestyle for me. And I did that for about a year. I had no way of finding out where anything was. It made me very stressed too, because I couldn't figure out where my keys were some days, where my wallet was some days. I would be late for work, things like that, because I just couldn't find everything, because it's so easy to get lost in the mountains and mountains and mountains and mountains and mountains of mess. That's how messy my house was. Like I said, an avalanche of clothes. Anyhow, I decided that I needed a change. I didn't think that I would physically be able to actually clean and clean and clean and clean and clean to the point to where the mess would just be gone. So I said I'm going to start little by little and try to donate some clothes, try to sell some clothes. I end up donating most of them, mostly all of them, to Salvation Army, Goodwill, things like that. And that was the start of it. I broke it down to like 5 pairs of shorts, 3 pairs of pants, like 7 different shirts, 5 normal standard t-shirts, and then like 2 specialty ones, and if I ever wanted to like look special or something like that. And then my shoes, I pretty much kept all my shoes, but I wasn't a huge sneakerhead. I tried to take good care of my things. That actually made the minimalist transition a little bit easier. I'm one of those people who I'll hold on to my phone for 2 and 3 years. The shoes were not a big problem. Now, the seasons, that was the tough thing. I actually had to put my winter clothes into storage, and I slimmed down on those too, kind of in a similar fashion, because at this time it was summer. Making that change was probably the best thing I could have ever did, because it started to trickle down into other areas of my life. I felt as though I was now more organized because I had so little, at least so much less than what I was used to having clothing wise. It made life so much easier because it was so much harder for my house to just get dirty. When you have all that stuff and you don't have the right organizational tools and skills and things like that, your house can just get messy at the snap of a finger. And my house was able to kind of stay clean a little better, just having less clothes and less items. So that was the one effect. And I didn't lose stuff anymore, so I wasn't as stressed anymore. Moving on to the next thing, it made me more organized because I was now able to come into a house and think. Sure, I was tired from work, but I at least didn't have that extra added pressure from this avalanche of clothes. And being able to think, there was some luxury in that, and I felt good about it, and I was able to kind of make a schedule for myself to live a more structured lifestyle so that I can do more and maximize my value of time. I just didn't have that luxury before becoming a minimalist, so I'm so glad that I did it. Also, being a minimalist, you save a lot of money because, for one, I should have done a better job selling my clothes, but like I said, it's really psychological what I was going through. It may sound a little funny, but it was stressing me out. I just had to really get it out of my house as fast as I could, or else I was going to go nuts. Over time, I've probably spent, thousands and thousands of dollars on clothes that I just no longer even wore. They would just be in my house, But you can sell your clothes. It'll bring you a lot of money. I mean, there's nothing wrong with donating either. And you also save a lot more money because since your house is clean, you'll be willing to invite guests over rather than for you to spend gas money, or if you don't have a car, Uber money going to different places just because you don't want to be at your house. You can have the gathering at your place. So people don't really think about that. But it just had a lasting effect. I feel like I'm a more overall organized and positive person. I'm happier because I don't got the stress of the avalanche of clothes. And it's just made me be able to feel that I can kind of do anything. If I can be a minimalist and live off of this small amount of clothing, then maybe we just have too much. Maybe we just have too much in our homes, in our life. Let's kind of just pay attention to the things that are priceless. Sometimes we can get so caught up in materialized items, you can start to look at it in such a high regard, and you're trying to keep up with certain people or a certain image or a certain lifestyle. And I think that that's really unhealthy. Sometimes people, they'll meet someone, or like someone will talk to their mother or father about, a person they may be dating. And you have some families out there, the first thing they ask is, oh, how much does he make? It just shouldn't be about that. I just think that, if you have the right priceless things, your health, your happiness, your true treasures, in whether that be your family or just whatever holds you down, And if any of my viewers don't have those things, you are even stronger at other things that I may not even realize until I get to know you. So I commend you for all that you're going through and for persevering and being heroes every single day. Minimalism kind of has taught me that I really gotta put my value into the things that you can't put a value on. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you really enjoyed the video, and please feel free to subscribe. I would love to have you back again. I make content like this and just anything that deals with my mindset. I try to be really positive, and I have a lot of very different interests. So we can discuss some more when you come on back. Have a good one.